Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well. So I'm doing a reading on the new moon in Taurus. I'm going to talk about the astrology on this, what this means for the new moon collectively in Taurus for May 16th, 2026. And then I'm going to pull kind of some oracle and tarot cards for the collective. So this new moon in Taurus is happening May 16th, 2026 at 2:01 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at 25 degrees. So when I'm posting this video, it's actually going to be on the 16th, but the time when it was at its fullest has passed, but that doesn't mean the energy's not there. Moon energy, especially when it's full moon, but the moon energy is there like within a few days of like the day before, day after, day of, 3 to 5 days range, right? Because it's the moon, that energy stays. And this is the new moon in Taurus, and I wanted to do a video about it because there's a lot of strong energy around this time that really emphasizes this energy, and I think it's important for us to have an understanding and appreciation for what's going on in the world. So this moon, again, the new moon in Taurus, is happening at 25 degrees at the fixed sign of Taurus. So this is kind of a critical degree when we're at 25 degrees. It's a point of culmination where something is ripe for manifestation, or there's a sense of kind of maturity going on, but we are planting this seed. So it's kind of like something's culminating that we need to recognize and then plant a seed of like what it is that we want to grow or change or shift, right? So new moons are planting seeds for growth. Full moons are birthing or expelling something, pushing it through. So this is a new moon, and it's in the fixed sign Taurus. Taurus is the bull. Taurus is known, like we have all kinds of features of Taurus. Like they're known for their practical, simplistic ways of life that are stability seeking, pleasure. They're very kind of material security, fertility, beauty. Think of the beautiful bull sitting in a pasture, munching away on grass or his cud, enjoying the sun and the scenery. And just, you can't push him around. He's going to eat, he's going to do his things. He's nice and happy at just doing that. He does not need anything crazy going on in life. The Taurus energy, being an earth sign, a fixed earth sign, is the sign that best supports Cancerian sign, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Taurus is an earth sign, so they really support the water sign aspect, right? So just referring to my notes that I did up for us. So, like, let's think of that Venusian, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is that beauty, sexuality, simplicity, resources, that kind of stuff. And so they love the senses, like anything that fulfills the senses, like food, senses, odor, the beauty in that, like smelling the roses or having a nice cup of coffee or tea, the beauty in nature, art, anything that gives them comfort and that security and abundant feeling, right? Think about that bull in the field again, right? So when we think about a new moon, this is the time that we're going to plant our seeds of intentions about what we want to grow. So think of it. What is it that we want to grow now to harvest in the fall that's maybe of self-worth, which is Taurus, values, comfort. So what kind of seeds are you wanting to plant? So what's even more fascinating yet alarming is this new moon is conjunct the demon star Algol. So I'm going to tell you a bit of history on Algol. Don't mind as I refer to my notes as well. So this is the brightest star in the sky at the constellation of Perseus. Perseus, thank you. This star is considered to be Medusa, as it's a pulsating, bewitching, bright star that you could gaze at, and it's like the power that she held with her own gaze, and that's the same with this star, right? So the star has been linked or associated in the history with danger, transformation, and even kind of like a dark feminine energy. And you're going to understand a lot more in the beauty in it. Also, So there's a fascinating Greek mythology about Medusa. So those that don't know, Medusa is in Greek mythology the snake-haired kind of monstrous woman that when anyone's seen her, they would be petrified into stone, like turned into stone. So she was one of three sisters that were called the Gorgon sisters. So they were mythical creatures, kind of serpent, monstrous, with like hair and like snake hair and everything, and they would have that petrifying gaze. So they would turn people into stone, right? So she was one of those sisters. However, she was the only one from those sisters that was mortal, that had human-like features. She was gorgeous. She was absolutely stunning. And she was pursuing the pathway of being a priestess to Athena in Athens. So in Athena's temple. So in that temple, the one thing that Athena expected of anyone serving her in that temple is to be divine of purity. So to not be corrupted sexually, to pursue. So it's just like many religions that practice that purity of no sexual interactions of any sort. So in order for her to participate and to serve Athena, she had to, and be a priestess, she had to be pure. So the one thing with Medusa, she was gorgeous. She captivated people in Athens. People started following her and just gazing at her because she was absolutely stunning. Now, in Greek mythology, a lot of Greek gods, it was not uncommon when they had anyone that would take away their attention or anything like that, or if they felt threatened, jealous, they would actually usually punish that people or the people that were praising. So Athena held back. She chose not to, because this was somebody who absolutely praised her, cherished her, followed her footsteps, would probably do anything for her. So she chose to just let her be and carry on. But at one point, Medusa caught the attention of Poseidon. So that's the Greek god of the ocean. And he fell like head over heels. He wanted to have Medusa. And he tried to assert himself on Medusa, and she got aggressive and like whacked him in the face or whatever and pushed him and ran. And she sought shelter in Athena's temple, and thinking like, this would be sacred grounds and keep her safe and she'd be protected. But he forced himself in and forced himself on her, and unfortunately did unforgivable things to her, unforgivable acts that humiliated her and therefore corrupted her, and she no longer could be a priestess for Athena. So rather than Athena having a form of grace or anything, she instead told Medusa, you wrecked my temple, you dismantled my temple because you allowed somebody to come in and they corrupted you in my temple, and you brought this here. This was because of you that my temple's ruined. So in saying that, what happened is she cast Medusa into being this snake-like monstrous being forever. So she became disfigured and monstrous as a punishment for what she did to her temple, even though that was not her intentions, right? So off she went, Medusa, because she feared harming people, because anyone she would see or look at, she would turn into stone. So she feared that she was going to harm people, and also feared herself and her punishment. So she sought out isolation somewhere remote, kind of like in a cave type thing, and there she kind of dwelled, but she still, there's historical write-ups of where she pulled to still do practices to praise Athena, to worship Athena alone in solitude in her monstrous form. And so therefore Athena kind of started having a little bit of, grace, or feeling bad for what she had done. So to relieve her kind of her monstrous self, she sent Perseus to go and behead her to relieve her from her punishment. But in saying that, he took Athena's bright shining shield that acted as a mirror, so that he would make direct eye contact to find her and behead her. So it acted as a mirror, and he used that to guide to find, because the reflection in the mirror wouldn't turn him into stone. And so he beheaded Medusa, and then took her head and utilized it as a weapon, because the head still worked when anyone made contact with the face of Medusa. They were turned into stone. So he utilized her in her victim state, so to speak, as like a weapon against his enemies. And later on, then that's how he met his wife. He saved his wife, and all this other stuff, and the story goes on. So in saying that, rather, like, Medusa was a victim of a curse and an ultimate weapon. So this is kind of like a symbol of destruction and isolation, right? So now when we take a look at this, it's like a tension point. So like I'm going to build this, because this is associated, remember, with Algol, that bright star. This is like considered Medusa, and that bright star is conjuncting. It's 1 degree off in the same Taurus placement as this new moon and as Mercury. So they're all conjunct. Mercury is communication. So when we have this demon star conjunct our sun and our communication, it's like calling us to really stand into like our values and speak up, right? Use our voice and speak up and stand in our autonomy, right? So this is kind of like a tension point of we have a desire for stability, beauty, sexual pleasure, and yet like an intense disruptive power. There's also the ability for that, right? So let's consider where we need to embrace your own hidden powers, or a sense of comfort or security that needs to be balanced by confronting something, whether it's intense or disruptive, right? So just having an honest communication. It might be calling something out, having your voice, finding some balance, some ground, some stability, and standing your values. So this calls to own our own vulnerability and our own resilience, right? So outside it may be all beauty and calm, but underneath there's some deep transformation happening. So let's go back. Like, it calls for autonomy, in my opinion. This is a big message that came up, right? Like, because she was beheaded. So like, let's stand in our autonomy. Remember, also, let's not lose our head, right? Where are we maybe giving away our own autonomy or our own power? Where can we reclaim our own voice? With that Mercury conjunct and Taurus in an medical astrology for the body, it governs the throat, the shoulders, like the chest area, like this area. That's what it governs. So having your voice, your throat, right? Standing strong, that bull that can't be pushed over in the field, like standing strong in your power. So reclaiming your voice. So where are you giving too much outside, or where am I giving in to outside expectations or fears? Where are you giving into that? So step into that Taurus bull-like strength. Be a little stubborn maybe, and standing to your values, as long as they're your values. Or are you dying? I'm going to play Uno reverse here. Are you dying on that stubborn bull like mountain? And are you going to lose your head with it all? Because that is one of the downfalls with Tauruses, because they're a fixed sign. They can be so stubborn in their values, as long as it's their values, right? Don't be stubborn for something that maybe you don't really understand, or you're not, like, you're just picking like a fight, I guess, or being stubborn without actually, is this you? Is this your value, or is this someone else's? So, because you don't want to lose your head with it all, right? So collectively, on the global stage, I think that it's not unrealistic at this time. Let's see if any of these predictions come true. I'm not wishing ill upon anyone, but I think that we can see a lot of big leaders losing their heads, so to speak. Hopefully not like physically, but losing their like leadership, their head, or their prominency, being prominent on the global stage. So we might see some people step down or disappear off like being leaders. They might not, I think we might see some exposure on that demon star exposing who did what, like who took Medusa's head, what happened to Medusa, let's find out the backstory. Like I think we might find some exposure and people losing face, so to speak, right? Because there's a face in your head. So, and then here's what's really interesting is there's another huge energy playing into a factor with kind of similar energy at the same time. So it kind of re-emphasizes this. So we have Pluto going into it's in a retrograde right now in Aquarius at 5 degrees. And this began May 6th. And this is going to go all the way to October 15th. So for quite a few months, we're having Pluto, an outer planet. So your outer planets are more collective energy, how it affects people collectively more so, our collective progress. But it does play into our birth charts a little bit, specifically each to our own. But when we see this a retrograde energy in these outer planets, especially Pluto, that is like really deep inner transformation. So we're working on our inner selves, right? So when we look at that 5 degree mark too, it's considered a critical degree because it represents a fresh, potent beginning, especially in Aquarius, which is like innovation and collective progress. Like, because Aquarius is that collective, humanitarian, rebellious energy, right? And so I think we're going to see deep transformations collectively. This is like echoes of Age of Aquarius type thing, of humanitarian. Like it's rather than centralization, decentralization. Rather than them, it's us. So I think we're going to see a lot of echoes of that. But this is going to pull in with us as an individual, especially around this new moon, prompting us of like, do our values align with what's going on in the world and collectively, and do our values stand as something that'll benefit in the long run for ourselves, but collectively? Like, or are they selfish where they may be destructive? So it kind of it challenges that a bit, right? So again, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is really about that deep internal revolution. So Aquarius is all about the future. It's futuristic, it's innovative, it's science, it's humanitarian, it's rebellious, it's our social networks, because it's digital age connection social. Like, rather than our community, my neighbors, or my town, it's more you guys. I'm communicating digitally, because that's what Uranus is, an Aquarius. So Aquarius rules Uranus. That's why I'm saying that. So when we have Pluto, a planet of transformation, in Aquarian energy, it's electrical, digital energy, right? So transformation in that. It's transformation in how we network, and it's like transformation and it's ET type energy, extraterrestrial type stuff. So it's how we connect as communities. Pluto brings up power. So Pluto is it rules power, transformation, and what's hidden. Kind of the deep, dark, sketchy stuff, the taboo stuff, sexuality, other people's money, like death, right? It's that kind of stuff. So we're going to see transformation, rebirths possibly in power science, like electricity, science, networks, all kinds of stuff, digital stuff, digital currency rather. So during this retrograde, we may see a lot of inner work around how we relate to these new systems coming in place. Digital currency would be one. And like new sciences and technology and social progress. So it's a chance to reevaluate, do our personal role in these collective, it's a chance to reevaluate your personal role in all of these collective shifts, right? Where do you play a role? How does it affect you? Does it align with your values? This is the time that we're going to reevaluate, because retrogrades are reassess, reevaluate, redo. And so it's a slow, deep dive into your own evolving relationship with the future. So can you see the connection now with this Taurus new moon, right? So our values, stability, comforts, and then conjuncting Algol, like so deep transformation of, Is it worth losing my head? Am I sane? Am I going a little too intense here? Or do I need to stand in my power and use my voice? And this is like looking inward, right? So finding your value, evaluating if this brings anything to the collective, or if you are losing your head over nothing. Can your need for security transform the best in yourself without injuring others? So I'm going to say that again. Can your need for security transform the best in yourself without injuring others? Medusa running, seeking protection, and in need of protection. She now is punished. I mean, she's a victim, but she was punished. But was she? I'm going to tell you the rest of that. Hold on, put a little pin in that. So collectively on the global stage, I think we're going to continue to see earthquakes. So Uranus, and especially right now because we have this conjunction with Earth sign, and Uranus kind of like in there. So Uranus is like, it's electricity. It's fast, unpredictable energy. It's shockwave energy, but it is electricity. It's digital stuff, technology. So when we mix this around near Earth signs and Pluto, it's like deep transformation and shake-up. So I think, like, I don't know if anyone experienced, I did, a little mini earthquake here in town. What was it, last week or the week before? Laying in bed in the morning, all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck was that? So we had a little earthquake, and I think we're going to continue to see that. I think we're also going to see shakeups in like nations and their borders and what they classify their borders, their parameters, like say, like what their territories are. I think we're going to see a lot of truths come out a lot. I think we're going to find a lot of truths on humanity and the connection to ET, so extraterrestrial beings, because I think that we're going to find how humanity and electricity or electrical being state is connected. Our mind, like pulling through mind. So psychology is really tied in with Pluto. So like the mind and electricity and mind-body connection, so to speak, or humanity connection. I think we're going to have a lot of talks of free energy. We're going to hear a lot of, I think, like about new energy that is free energy, and how it's been hidden from us. Pluto, kept from us. Pluto, like government, other people's money, like money, hiding resources. So there'll be talks of communication such as, I think, technology, like our phones, devices, technology, social media, and what it's doing to the human mind and our physical being. How it's, I think, like we're going to see almost like a little bit of a culture shift of reducing screen time. I think that's going to be the new narrative of reducing screen time, more physical, because we've been for the past 30 years going digital, and now there's going to be, I think, a trend of trying to break away from that and making time to break away from that, which I support. But I'm also grateful to have this opportunity to do this, to speak to like however many people in a distance from me. They don't all have to be sitting in my space, right? So that's super cool. So we gotta take the wins and the losses. And so I think we'll see that. I think we'll also see unusual signs on sexuality, like because Aquarius is very centric energy. It's unique, it's different, but it's humanitarian. So I think topics of sexuality and the science of sexuality will be huge. And the science of sexual energy will be huge. So Kundalini type energy and the innovation to help heal or detox and help with addictions. That's like Pluto, addictions and substances, and purging. So cleanses, detoxes. I think we're going to have a huge awakening, Aquarius energy, awakening in detox, cleansing, and the importance of that. And most importantly, we'll have a lot of power surges, power outages, transformation in how power gets delivered. So Pluto, that eighth kind of house energy, that Pluto energy is also like government control, in a way, a little bit, other people's control, other people's money. We might find other people's control on our power. Now, whether that's human power or like electricity power. So let's summarize this. This new moon in Taurus, it like isn't just about sitting drinking coffee or a nice glass of wine or tea in the comfort of your home or garden, and just chilling out. This is more so, about, sitting and understanding, what do I value? What do I value, and how do I pull this through? How do I really plant the seed of, I want to have more of this, because it is an important value to me that needs to grow. And it not only can help support me, through supporting me, it supports the collective. And that's a beautiful thing. That is a Taurus thing, right? It's a fertility thing. We're planting seeds. So I love Taurus energy. It's a beautiful energy. So this is about a deep awakening and making some judgment calls, right? Planting those seeds that best support your well-being. Where can you reclaim your voice, your stability, or your ground, your footing? Standing in your truth, transforming your hidden fears, anchoring in self-trust. Like, trust yourself and anchor in that, and be bold, because that's the bull. He's bold. That bull in the china shop, like, he's not gonna just sit there and go, well, I like it, but like, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or I don't want to take up their space. The bull's like, I love that green grass over there. I'm going for that. That sounds amazing and delicious. That's the bull. So standing in authenticity, owning what you want, right? So after all, this is what's really fantastic, I find. Medusa was a Gorgon. So let's just remember that. Her sisters were those snake monsters. She was the only one in human form that was mortal. The other ones were immortal. So she was this monster all along, right? So this is like, that essence was in her. It was deep in her, part of her terrifying lineage. This was part of her, despite her not choosing it. But what I had a big aha moment was like, she was already part, that she was gorgeous, but when Poseidon was trying to take her, like, she deep down was a Gorgon. She could have owned that, had her voice, and owned that. And I don't know, this is not in no mythology books. This is me generating my own thoughts and perspective on this. But she may have had the possibility to really stand in her power, and she probably, if she was a Gorgon, she probably had the ability to pull on that deep energy of who she is and utilize that sacred power to push Poseidon instead of running. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think, like, there, I guess what I'm saying is, standing like deep down, what you hold value and what you know and what is deep in you, who you are, utilize that and stand and hold that. Like, it's a ability to transform and shift your power. So use that energy to plant that seed. So what's really unique is, here I was thinking, okay, I have all my notes done up, done all the astrology chart information reading and dissecting and condensing the information for you guys. And now I'm going to talk about something that I haven't done at all. On the new moon today, I have not done, so I'm giving a lecture and I'm not utilizing this energy or giving the advice. I thought, that's kind of weird. Like, I did all the things. I went to a market, I went multiple greenhouse shopping, had delicious food, spent time with my spouse. Like, it was all lovey-dovey, earthy, yummy, cozy things, and my cozy sweater and my nice cozy boots and jacket, holding the hand of my loved one. Like, it was all beautiful Venusian, Taurian things. And I thought, wow, like, and here we're on the new moon and supposed to, like, pull in and channel this inner, hold my values and whatever. And I felt like I wasn't doing it until, as I was starting this, I had my big aha moment. So, like, who I am is this. I am very spiritual minded, eccentric, esoteric, metaphysical, very soulful person. This is who I am and what I love. I'm super passionate about it. And I don't go blabbering. This is like relatively new in the past few years doing this and slowly communicating to family and friends and through social media and now through clients and slowly marketing like, hey, I do this. But it feels really unsafe and insecure of me to do that because it feels like, oh, somebody's gonna not want me or think I'm weird or no longer come as a client or I want to associate with me because maybe I'm creepy or whatever. It was a weird insecurity. And then here I am. So my spouse, he knows that this is a part of me, but he doesn't really see it. So he always jokes, like, you always say you have this witchy side, but I don't see it. You don't really do a whole lot or say a whole lot. But I laughed and I'm like, well, look at my house, like with all my plants, my gemstones and essential oils and calendars and quirky stuff, candles, like cards. But then I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not like that around him. So here I was, like I told him I have a friend that I want to go to this Wandering Witch Market in Westlock to support, like not just to support, I go there at least a few times a year when they have those markets, but also to support a friend who is new at that market as a vendor. And somebody that I was going to go with, they like have a change of plans and that was totally fine. But I still wanted to go. So he said, well, we got to go pick up trees at this other place. So why don't we just go to Westlock? It's just a little bit a ways away, but not far. And I'll join you. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to take him to where there's like eccentric people. Like he's going to be so thrown off and like creeped out. That was my own insecurity thinking like, and he's going to be like, you like this stuff? This is weird or whatever. And so here he joins me. I've allowed him to see this vulnerable side of me and join me. And then we hop in the truck after. He's like, that wasn't, like, I don't know what you're talking about. That seemed fine. Those people weren't weird or that wasn't weird or whatever. And there's an example of like standing in my own, of what I value. So I did do that. It was not comfortable, but I brought it through and planted that seed. And I had already told him. And when we come back, I want to do live readings because I'm trying to do this more often. And so I was doing that. I was already planting those seeds of a little bit more. Here's a little bit more of me. We've almost been together for 2 years, but here's a little bit more of me. And so, you know, it's just that. It's standing in your own values because I value this aspect of life and of myself. And I have to be my authentic self. So I appreciate you guys listening to that story if you hung out through the rest of that. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards from the Sacred Earth Oracle and also the Sacred Rebel Oracle. I'm going to pull a card from each, and this is for the collective, and then a few tarot cards of what do we need to know collectively, the energy collectively, to navigate this energy of the new moon in Taurus conjunct Algol and Mercury, and then also with that Pluto retrograde in Aquarius energy. What do we need to know? Oop, hold on. Split the deck. Expectation. Sorry, some of these cards flipped. I'm just making sure they're all. So the card that came out, I'll show you in a minute, is called Expectation. So this is a beautiful card because it's see how we kind of have the moth and like we're like kind of aligning ourselves. We have the bison. So bison, like they're very, and it's almost like ancestral bison. So it's like this collective feeling, right? Collective transformation, and how like this individual is standing in their power in the sun, like creator shining the light. There's life force energy, but transformation. So this is like deep life force energy and transformation. So we need to expect that we are being transformed as a herd, is what I'm hearing. Like as a herd, like the bison, we're being transformed collectively, and how we're all connected. We're all one. We're all part of the herd, and there'll be deep transformation. So expect the transformation, and and kind of almost demand it, like, you know, live it, demand it, transform with it. And I think that really resonates with what's coming up here. Oh, they're upside down. There we go. And then trust yourself. That's gorgeous. I haven't seen this card in ages. Trust yourself. So number 31. So when I reduce number 31 to 4, this is very much Cancerian energy. It's that 4th house root foundations. So trust in yourself and what nurtures you. Look at all these beautiful different birds, butterflies, insects, snakes. You can't even make that up. Frogs, reptiles. What is this? Is that a sloth? And monkey? It's like, trust yourself. And this is like, to me, this is such a family, like, of everything. So trust all the aspects of yourself and what nourishes you. Wow, this is a super beautiful message. So what nourishes you, and all the quirky sides, all the transforming sides, like frogs come through mud, like they go dormant and they rise and they transform. They go from tadpoles, like eggs, to tadpoles to a full, like, reptile or frog. And then same with snakes, they transform, they shed their skin. We have lions, tigers, birds. So, you know, we have so much. So, like, just trust in yourself, like the nature of who you are and what nourishes you. Just be you, but expect that transformation. Like, be okay with that transformation. So, like, on my end, like, if my spouse was not okay with going to this market with me, then is this right for me? When, like, I'm kind of hiding a part of me. So it was actually a beautiful kind of transformation, vulnerability, but I should expect that they are supportive of what I like, because I support what they like, whether it resonates, like whether I understand it or not. They're important to me, so why wouldn't that be reciprocated in a healthy relationship, right? So I'm just going through. I'm going to pull 3. Okay. And I got 2. I'm going to pull. Let's see. Do I have one more? Oh, yep. Okay. So we might feel left out or vulnerable. You know, these guys are outside of the dwelling, likely a church, right, with stained glass. And you might feel injured or whatever. But just remember to, like, hold value in yourself and recognize, like, hey, we all have our baggage, our burdens, or whatever. And it's worth value to go inside and seek what nurtures us and makes us feel like we're part of life force, and we deserve that, right? And stand in your thoughts and your communication. Like, understand that it's your thoughts. Really, this is actually so cool. It's your thoughts on what you value in life that brings opportunity in the world. This is so cool. Wow. So these opportunities could be good or bad. Like, what emotionally fulfills you. So it's really about standing in your, having some value and calling through that value, that voice. Oh my God, you can't make this up. And then, you know, you'll have what you deserve. If you have a shitty take on life, sorry for my language, but if you have, like, where you don't have self-value, or you think that you deserve to be, even though you got a broken leg or crutches and all that, that you deserve to be isolated and neglected, then, you know, your thoughts on that are going to bring, like, the not so great things, the toxic things in life. It might not be positive opportunities. Over here, like sandcastle building, it might be ghostly haunted figures from the past, or something toxic that can poison you, right? Or you can have a full rebirth of yourself and really grow into yourself. So that is the energy. So with this energy collectively, please, like, expect the positive, expect the healthy, and demand and trust in yourself and what nurtures you. So I'm going to pull out of the book. I'm going to quickly bring this up. So 48, expectation. So confront your ideas about a situation, a relationship, or yourself. Poke, dare, or test the expectation. If it's real, it will remain. Be honest and reflective and determine if an accepted truth is truly serving you or those you care about. Consenting to things turning out okay is selling for less. Expect more for yourself and your circle. Let go of what you know to make way for your wisdom. So inspiration breaks through expectations like lightning bolt. It awakens inside you and shatters doubt and fills your life with creative energy. Every day you are the creator of the new world. Be the creator of a fairer, more inspiring, positive one. Shift your perception. Raise expectation and bust into a new horizon. Hope anticipates better days. Happiness makes better days for and today. So, expectation. So just expect it, right? But like, what a transformation of like, this is a God-given gift to be nurtured and given life and to transform and for all the collective, like for the herd, right? Just expect it. It's supposed to be given to you. And then lastly, 31 for the trust yourself. So trust yourself. You are wise. You know how to grow even without knowing how you know. Like the ancient forests, spectacular galaxies, and the acorn that becomes the oak, there is a natural intelligence for growth that is beyond logic and reason. It happens. It just happens. And at the deepest levels, we are governed by the force that is so palpable, it literally shapes the world. At the same time, it is so invisible that sometimes we forget its presence and worry that our minds have to work everything out for life to happen for us to be all right. We can become unnecessarily anxious about our affairs and how life will unfold. The oracle brings the message that you are growing. You really are. Don't doubt it, even if you don't see it yet. Just remember that so much is happening when the seed is still unbroken in the ground. Below the earth, it is summoning up the might and power force to push up to the top of the soil and burst into the light. It is essential for everything good to happen later on. Yet, we don't see any of that. We just have to trust that things will happen and at the right time. You are also being asked to trust in yourself. You know how to grow. Don't overthink things. It will help. It won't help you. Don't worry so much. You are doing a great job in this game of life. When you trust yourself, just relax and you can heed your own wisdom, insight and messages and much more. And just clearly and easily. This oracle comes with a particular guidance. You have a big destiny this lifetime and much to experience. So this goes on and on and on. I'm not going to keep reading it, but that just validates just to focus on yourself. Like focus and trust in the process, right? So have an expectation, but trust in the process. It might not happen today or tomorrow, but this is also like, trust in hold your values and trust in the process, because your thoughts will give those emotional opportunities and fulfillment. There you go. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. I love that you guys tune in for this, and keep well, and I'll chat soon. We'll go for another reading down the line. Take care.